One of the things that I wanted to do with my channel here was talk about fitness and kind of my struggles throughout the years with staying on a wellness track and some of the dieting patterns and behaviors that I have. So today we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to talk about some of the things that I'm kind of experiencing right now, talk about how I'm going to try to pull the train in the right direction and get back on track. So
nobody believes me.
before we get started, one thing I really need you to do is run back through and watch some of the previous videos in case you missed them. Some of the ones that I posted really haven't gotten pushed out to a lot of my subscribers, and I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like toward the end of January there was a dip where YouTube's not giving the videos the impressions. So I posted a video that was cooking peas as a side dish. Go check it out. It's a recipe that you can keep in your back pocket. I also posted a video introducing kind of a Hot Ones Challenge Q&A that I have. Submit some comments, some questions that you want me to answer in that. Also, I just posted a video of Troy Night Out with my buddies Keith and Will. That's another one. That one's an absolute banger, so you're gonna want to check that out for sure. Let's get on with the video here. Oh, also, I'm working today. What you're gonna see here, you're not gonna see me sitting in this one spot and just talking. I'm basically gonna take some breaks from work and talk about this in kind of a piecemeal kind of fashion. So we'll change settings, maybe we'll get a coffee or something. Throughout the day, you're gonna see the settings change quite a bit. It's just because of the nature of being on the go. We're gonna keep it interesting and keep you locked in. I started out really strong in January and been kind of a little in the middle in terms of just motivation overall. And motivation has kind of tanked over the last couple of weeks. I'm actually in the process of quickly having my chicken and broccoli and sriracha. Just trying to remind myself that this type of healthy eating isn't really punishment, but is more nourishment. And it's really important to have that mindset because the fitness industry kind of really ingrains in us that, you know, XYZ is bad and this is good. What I've struggled with all my life really is that bad versus good. I would always have cheat meals and this and that. And, you know, I think it's good to look forward to stuff, but at the end of the day, when you think about it in terms of black and white like that, it just makes it really easy to demotivate yourself. I'm having my lunch at work right now, and we'll talk a little bit about just what I'm feeling. I think the main part of the issue is I have some definite stress triggers that kind of pull me into a pattern of convenience eating, and also the social factors. A lot of this is very deeply rooted. Being Italian, coming from an Italian family, the entire purpose of gathering is to eat, and that kind of is what the entire social interaction is constructed around. That makes it kind of difficult to decouple eating for nourishment and eating for socialization or pleasure. I worked with a coach for almost 2 years and I had really good results. And don't get me wrong, I'm not really far off from where I was toward the middle of last year working with the coach. I have gotten to the point where clothes are fitting a little tight, just overall not feeling great. I sleep way more than I really would like to. A lot of that has to do with these hormonal imbalances due to, you know, not exercising, not dieting. And part of the not having the motivation right now is like literally the last thing I want to do is exercise. And I'm usually the type of person, like, I love exercising. That's kind of how I recognize something is wrong. I'm just trying to figure out what the balance is. You know, right now, zero exercise isn't good, but I know that I just start to feel overwhelmed because of it. One of the things that I struggle with a lot is allowing myself to have reasonable meals if I'm in a mindset of dieting and fitness. I'm really good. I know exactly how to structure the meals to make it such that I'll get the results that I want. That part for me is easy, especially I have 2 years worth of meal plans and exercise plans from my coach that I could even look, I have plots and everything. I can look at where I was then and how do I need to get to where I want to be. So that part of it is easy. It's really the execution. You don't get results unless you put in the work. It's really that day to day, that hour by hour, minute by minute, that just gets difficult. And I've succumbed to a lunchtime candy bar and things that just aren't good for you. A lot of the stress triggers is what pulled me into that pattern. So what I just need to do is figure out how to manage it in a way that it doesn't just snowball. That's really where I am right now. Is just I'm at a point where I want results. I'm not so sure I want to put in the work. I know I need to, and I need to come to terms with how to put that all into motion in a way that's balanced and doesn't feel stressful. Because the last thing that you want to do is put more stress on yourself, because then it drives up cortisol, drives up your water retention, your fat around your waist and all that stuff. So the idea isn't to make it more stressful, but to figure out where it fits in the balance of everything. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind chicken with broccoli. It's just at a point you just get over it. Right now I'm not over it, so I'm fine with it. Last night I was overthinking eating a chicken sandwich, like a chicken salad sandwich, which is weird because I have a good healthy bread that I eat at home. I had grilled chicken that you just throw a little mayonnaise, a little bit of Dijon mustard, but it took me 20 minutes to even decide whether I was going to do that. And that to me is the problematic part, because you get in that mental kind of overthinking, majoring in the minors type thought that you'll never be successful that way. So it's just a matter of, damn, I'm having a good hair day. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to have those types of meals, because right, I'm not an elite athlete. I'm not trying to get shredded. I just want to have something reasonable. I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll run out and get a coffee before my afternoon meetings here.
Perfect.
Pull up and have a coffee with me. One of the items I touched on earlier is that I've been keeping the momentum strong in terms of putting out videos. The last few days have been kind of hard for me to regroup and come up with ideas and keep populating my content calendar and work on some new stuff. I do have some recipes in the works. I'm going to do a meal prep video to kind of show you how I prepare my proteins to set myself up for success, just to make sure I have everything on hand, because being as busy as I am between work and home, don't always have time to cook. It kind of at least gets stuff in the refrigerator that's somewhat reasonable. So we'll do a meal prep video, but it's really difficult for a small YouTube channel. Like I have 105 or 106 subscribers. So it's really hard to look at the metrics and actually feel like you're doing great. And I have to always, I try to check in maybe once every day or two, especially when a new video launches. I like to see what the momentum is looking like on those videos to make sure that, hey, are you guys liking the content that you're seeing? I post out to social media to drive some traffic to the channel. And admittedly, I realize that people maybe don't use YouTube as much as I do. I mean, for me, I think lately it's been my main source of entertainment. I realize everybody doesn't really use YouTube, so I try to rely on social media and Instagram and Twitter to promote my videos. But I noticed that those posts really don't get anywhere near the engagement as, if I post a picture of food or I post a picture of my son. And I'm sure we're in an algorithm-based world, so I'm sure that's really part of it, and probably most of it. It's discouraging to make these videos, put all the work I put into it, and then for it not to get traffic. Being small is like the nature of the beast, but it just makes it hard. And I'm sure that's a big part of it too, is just I'm putting a little bit of pressure on myself by even doing this YouTube, because it's really not easy to come up with ideas, work on the videos, shoot videos, edit videos, promote videos, populating the descriptions and tags and optimizing the titles for search. All that stuff takes time. Then when the video is ready, promoting the video, it's a lot more than just oh, hey, I took a cool picture, let me post it on Instagram. The videos actually take a lot of effort. It's hard to do it and then not get recognized for it. But on the plus side, if you watch that video of Troy Night Out, and I've always been good with the networking piece of it. You know, some of the creators that I met at that event, we've been following each other for a while, and it's kind of fulfilling to use the platform to promote other stuff like that. I'm always gonna have my junk food reviews and little things for the channel here and there, but really is and this was kind of a mission with the blog as well, highlight what's good in the area for the culture. What I had discovered 10 years ago, the dining scene was so much more than Macaroni Grill and Smoky Bone. Those types of places were like what I would frequent back in the day. I remember 2007, 2008, I mean, we used to eat at Applebee's once every couple of weeks, and like nowadays, Applebee's is probably the lowest tier in fast food. Don't get me wrong, I ain't judging. If you go to Applebee's, more power to you. You get a meal under $10. You know exactly what you're getting. After I met Cassie, she started taking me to a lot more of the local spots, and that's kind of what blossomed into the whole Dairy X Dines. And I'm gonna do a video about that at some point, talking about how that started, what it evolved into, and kind of all the local personalities I got to meet through that, because that was pretty incredible as well. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here too. A few months ago, I went to an event. My buddy Trey, who works at Crossgates at a couple different places, he's also a smaller designer, grassroots, trying to get out there. He has a brand called Corrupted Youth, so I went to his pop-up event. It was kind of a collaborative event for him and another thrifted store here in Albany. They were doing their thing, and it was at Bellini's counter, and that video didn't get a whole lot of traffic, but at the same time, I got to meet somebody and interact with them. At one point, I'm sure it'll get some traffic. When he gets big and people search for his name, they'll find my video on him, and that's kind of where I'm at with these creators I went to the other day. Life Supply, David, he's a really awesome guy. He's very interactive on Instagram, and the Anabolic Baker, he's always DM me on stories and stuff like that, so it's really nice to get out there and support local creators and do some good stuff like that with the channel here, and just to have fun. If you followed my Montreal trip, I tried to shoot the Troy Night Out in a similar way to Montreal. I wish I had kind of the resources to be able to take the time to do more videos like that, but it's just not practical working full time and, you know, having the responsibilities I have. But from time to time, I'm going to do it. I mean, that video that I posted a few days ago was amazing to shoot. It was awesome to get linked back up with Metal Frog. All the BS about diet and stuff aside, yeah, it's weighing on me, but I have a lot of great things in my life right now, so really nothing to complain about. And it's all right to be in a funk and to admit that you are, and do what you got to do to pull yourself out of it, and that's kind of where I am. So I need to get back to work. Thanks for having coffee with me. Make sure you stick around to the end. I got a special message for you though. What is that?
It's the Lego Iron Man. So look, we got guys to Daddy. We got a Lego Iron Man, so let's get another one of those.
This will probably be the last setting change. Just got home from work. It's an ongoing kind of mental battle in terms of do you stay on track and eat healthy, or do you go off the rails? I had a few of my stress triggers at work kind of pull me toward going and getting a slice of pizza or something on the way home, and I kind of abstained from that. I'm kind of glad that I did. I got my turkey and my spinach salad that I'll have, and maybe later I'll make myself a bowl of cereal with some protein powder just to kind of keep on track but give myself a little bit of a treat. It's really important when going through stuff like this to keep in mind that we're all human. I'm not like I said earlier, I'm not a competitive bodybuilder or athlete or anything like that, so I don't need to put as much pressure on myself as I do to stay as healthy as I do. You just saw Noah there, and that alone is motivation enough to be on track and get out of the funk. That's the why. At the end of the day, that's what's important. And me, you gotta love yourself, you gotta love your family. As much as I think I put on Facebook last night that you know, I make choices and I hate myself for it. The word hate is it's a little harsh of a word to put there. I wouldn't say it's hate. It's more like you know what you got to do, and you kick yourself in the ass and say, you know, why am I doing it? And then you kind of get sucked right back into the pattern. The message I have for you is be patient, give yourself the leeway to do what you got to do, be reasonable with yourself, and love yourself. Don't give in to the hate. It's very easy to hate on everything, and you know, you don't want to be a hater. Don't be a hater on things, and don't be a hater on yourself. So I hope this was helpful for you. It really was helpful for me to get things into perspective a little bit and put a lot of it out there. You know, right now a lot of my focus is on YouTube. There's also the stuff that goes on a day by day that is important and needs to be addressed. So this really was helpful to me. Comment below with any thoughts that you have regarding this. I think it's just easy. It's easy when you can acknowledge what's going on and you can correct course. I'll leave it at that. We'll be back soon with that meal prep video and some other stuff. So have an awesome day.